So let's talk about Ning. You've probably heard of them. They're this iconic Chinese sportswear brand that seemed to have it all figured out. I mean, they were founded by a legendary gymnast, they went all in on aggressive marketing, digital transformation, even overseas expansion. On paper, they looked absolutely unbeatable.
And yet, that's the big mystery we're going to unravel today. Despite checking all the boxes that modern business schools teach, Ning's profits have just taken a complete nosedive. How is that even possible? Well, let's dig in and find out what really happened.
Okay, first a little background. Ning is one of China's original, homegrown sportswear giants. We're talking about a company that's been a pioneer on the global stage for decades. But as we're about to see, a long history of smart moves doesn't always guarantee you're going to win in the future. All right, to crack this case, we have to do what any good detective would do. We're going to follow the money. The numbers don't lie, right? And in Ning's case, they tell a really dramatic story about exactly where things went off the rails. Whoa. Okay, just look at the massive gap on this chart. In 2023, their revenue, that's the bar on the left, grew by less than 7%. Now look at the bar on the right. Their spending on selling and marketing just exploded by over 24%. That is a huge red flag. Basically, they were spending money almost 4 times faster than they were making.
Let's just zero in on that number for a second. 24.14%. This isn't just a small bump. It's a massive, massive investment in marketing and promotions. The company was pushing incredibly hard, but all that expensive media exposure, it just didn't translate into the sales boost they needed.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. If you just look at Ning's official numbers, their inventory looks pretty healthy. But this is where we uncover a hidden problem. See, Ning relies heavily on a distributor model, which means a ton of their product isn't on their own balance sheet. It's sitting in their distributors' warehouses. So while the official numbers look good, there's this immense hidden pressure building up in the supply chain.
So, where did all the profit just vanish? This slide shows it perfectly. The company's gross margin, what it costs to actually make the shoes and clothes, was stable, right around 48%. That wasn't the issue. The real problem, as that 21% drop in pre-tax profit shows, was a crazy explosion in operating costs that basically ate up everything else. So, all the financial clues point to this out-of-control spending. But why? This leads us straight to the core strategic blunder, a fundamental, and I mean fundamental, misunderstanding of the difference between branding and marketing.
To really get this, we need to talk about something called brand mindset value. This has nothing to do with sales figures. It's all about the real estate a brand owns inside your brain. Like, when you think high-performance running shoe, what name pops into your head first? That's brand mindset value. And if you haven't secured that little piece of mental real estate, you're not really a true brand yet.
Think of it like this. Branding is the slow, hard work of building a solid foundation. It's about product quality, innovation, and what people really think of you. Marketing, well, marketing is the megaphone you use to shout about that foundation. Ning's big mistake? They grabbed the megaphone and started shouting as loud as they could before the foundation was truly solid.
And this quote just captures the result perfectly. In 2022, Ning's brand value grew by an insane 68%, faster than any other apparel brand in the world. But it was fragile. It was all driven by the megaphone, not the foundation. And sure enough, just 1 year later, that value started to slip. It just goes to show you can't fake your way to a strong brand.
As if that wasn't enough, there was another critical error happening at the same time, a full-blown identity crisis. All the marketing in the world can't help you if you don't even know who you are. Ning got caught between 2 completely different worlds, and that confusion just watered down its entire purpose. This quote from a design director is just incredibly telling. It really highlights a core weakness in their product innovation. Instead of creating something genuinely new, the focus was often on just replicating what was already working for other brands. And that's a follower's strategy, not a leader's. So Ning basically had a choice between 2 paths. You can build a performance sports brand, that's the sustainable, long-term path built on real innovation, or you can chase fashion trends, which is super volatile and built on short-term hype. With its China-leaning sub-brand, the company leaned hard into that streetwear trend, which pulled the entire brand away from its much more stable, sports-focused core.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problems, and it sounds pretty bad, right? So, is Ning doomed? Well, not at all, actually. The company has a surprisingly solid foundation to build on. Let's take a look at the playbook for a comeback.
You see, despite this recent stumble, Ning is still a high-quality company. It has a founder with a fantastic reputation, it has actual experience bouncing back from tough times before, and it has better cash flow than a lot of its competitors. All of these things give it a real fighting chance.
So the path forward is actually pretty clear. Step 1, rebuild product value through real, meaningful innovation. Step 2, restructure that massive marketing budget to be way more efficient. And step 3, and this is probably the most important one, reestablish a crystal clear identity as a performance sports brand first and foremost.
And all of that leaves us with this final, critical question. Li Ning's story is such a powerful lesson, isn't it? It shows that massive spending and a ton of hype can create this powerful illusion of success. But long-term, real value can only be built on a foundation of substance. So the real challenge for Li Ning now is whether it has the discipline to put down the megaphone and get back to the hard work of building that foundation.